How's it going, everyone? Sean here, and I wanted to make a very different video today. I wanted to show you guys the new ability to add an aimbot to your custom game in the new Overwatch workbench system. So if you're interested in learning about how to create an aimbot that auto-locks onto different types of enemies and smoothly jumps in between different enemies, then stay tuned. So let's jump right into the workshops mode. So we need to add basically a command for each player, and you can specify this to certain heroes if you want. But we want to make sure that our aimbot only happens when we are hitting the button primary fire, because the problem with this is if you have it set just to do it automatically, the entire game will be locked onto one enemy and you won't be able to switch in between different enemies fluidly. The key to this is you want to add start facing rather than set facing. And the first thing I'll do with this tutorial is show you how to have it auto lock onto things, and then later I'll add a few touches, because once we hook this up it'll work, but there are going to be a few things wrong with it. So here's the first part. You want to start facing the event player. This means your character in a direction towards the position the starting from ourselves. So this is like drawing a line. So direction towards is like drawing a line from the start position being us to the end position being the position of a player that is in our reticle, basically. So player closest to reticle. And then here's a bit funky part. So we want to not lock on to our own teammates. So what we can do is we can say opposite team of the team of the event player. And then turn rate, this is how fast it will snap to the facing. So you want this to be a very high number. I'm going to set it to 10,000. You can even go higher than that if you want. This is all we need for a basic script. I'm going to go in and show you how this works. And then we're going to go through and add a few quality of life things, because it'll definitely work, but we're going to need to add a few things. As you can see, we are locked. As soon as I hit that primary fire button, we are now locked onto an enemy on the other team, and we cannot change that. And this was the character that we were closest to originally, even though we couldn't even see them through walls. So as you can see, it's the Reaper, and we're following around his head. So if we were to shoot, then we would hit pretty consistently. But as you can see, I'm still locked onto his dead body. So it's very, very funky. Once he respawns, though, it resets, but it's not ideal. So let's go back in and change a few things. Let me first take us back to lobby. So the problem is we need to deactivate it at will. So we could call this, say, Aimbot, and then we could add another rule to release Aimbot. This will be when it'll be similar, so we can actually copy this and paste it in over here and set this to be false. So if the button is not being held, we can release the action. So we can do type in facing and stop facing. Made a little bit of an error here. You need to make sure that this is each player as well. You can see we get no more errors, and this should fix the problem. There is one more quality of life thing I want to do afterwards, but I will show you that it does release it just briefly. We don't even have to go see him. You can see I have free motion. As soon as I start clicking, it'll lock on, and it's moving ever so slightly as it's following those enemies. But now if I let go, I have freedom again. So we could switch in between different characters based on where we start our aim and whichever one we're closer to. There is one thing. It seems a bit odd that we can cross-map, like, shoot as if we could see them. I'd rather have it to where we at least need to see them in person in order to execute that command. So let's go back to Aimbot and add another condition where if the player closest to reticle, so this is the same character that we would be targeting for the attack, and make sure that this is opposite team of event player is in line of sight. And then we have to make our own line of sight. So let's put in position of event player, and then position of player closest to reticle, opposite team of event player. Wow. Okay. So big another monster script, but all that really says is if we can see them. So now if I restart my match here, we should have all our settings go through, and you can see I'm not locking on to anything yet. This either means we broke the script or it's working perfectly. And as we go in, if we can see a player, we lock onto them. And when we let go, it resets everything. So we could swap between, so I want to go for Reaper, so I want to go for Zen. And clean up that kill. Let's do Roadhog. Now we're just Reaper. So sometimes it's a bit finicky where it can lock onto the dead bodies. So you could check to see if that player is alive, and that would just be the same mechanism that you used for the line of sight, only you use is alive in addition. So that's all for this video. I hope this was helpful. I hope you can now understand a little bit about how to create aimbots and maybe make even better ones for yourself. So don't forget to drop a like and a subscribe, and until next time, thanks and have a good day.